This is exactly what I eat in a day and how I adjust if I'm cutting fat or trying to put on muscle. No $20 smoothies, no 6-meal influencer blueprint, just real meals built around science that actually work. Because when you know how to structure your food, you don't need a new diet every time your goals shift. I'm a dad to a 2-year-old, I run a full-time business, I train 4 days a week, and I somehow find time to make this content for you guys. So if you're busy too, I get it. What I'm about to show you isn't some influencer version of meal prep with 17 ingredients and a professional chef. These are real meals that fit into real life. They hit my macros, fuel my training, and help me stay lean or gain depending on how I adjust them. And no, I don't change the foods every time my goals change. I just shift the quantity. Once you understand how to structure meals that work for you, it's actually really simple to stay consistent, whether you're cutting, maintaining, or bulking. Here's what I try to hit on a normal maintenance day. About 3,200 calories, 245 grams of protein, 285 grams of carbs, and 127 grams of fat. I'm 35, about 185 pounds, and I stay pretty lean. I train hard, but I'm also on my feet all day coaching clients and then running around with my 2-year-old. Even weekends are packed. We're at the zoo, museums, playgrounds, so I'm moving a lot. That kind of lifestyle activity, what's called NEAT or non-exercise activity thermogenesis, can swing your daily calorie burn by up to 2,000 calories depending on how active you are outside of the gym. I keep my macros close to a 30-30-30 split, which is what I have all of my clients doing. That's 30% protein, 30% carbs, 30% fat. That gives you 10% to screw up or do whatever you want with. The screenshot that you say from MyFitnessPal is technically 35-30-35 just to make MyFitnessPal happy with 100%. But the big one for me is protein. I eat well over a gram per pound of body weight and I feel great doing it. For me, it makes meals more satisfying and the research backs it up. Higher protein diets consistently lead to better fat loss, lean mass retention, and long-term body comp. One study found that eating 2.4 grams of protein per kilo of body weight, so even more than I'm doing, led to more fat loss and muscle gain during a deficit. Carbs are what I adjust based on my goals or how my body's looking. A lot of my carbs come from things like rice, quinoa, or other whole grains, so it's super easy to scale up or down depending on where I'm at. Maintenance for me is 1/3 of a cup at lunch and dinner. If I'm cutting, I'll drop that down to 1/4 cup at both meals. If I'm trying to bulk up, I'll bump that up to 1/2 cup at each meal. This is a super simple way for me to think about it, and it's things that I'm already measuring, so it's super easy. And it might not sound like a lot, but that's a 50-gram swing in carbs from just 2 meals, and that can shift your total daily intake by over 200 calories without changing anything else. Almost everything that I eat is whole unprocessed foods, which makes it super hard to screw up. That being said, I'm not overly obsessive about it. We like to grill, so there's bread and condiments sometimes. Even when we go out to eat, I just pick quality options and make sure I'm hitting my protein. I also hardly ever drink alcohol, less than a handful of times a month. I enjoy it, but I wake up early every day and I sleep like trash when I drink, and it's just not worth it for me. For me, breakfast is the same every single day. It's fast, it's filling, and it hits all my targets. I've done it for years and I don't even think about it anymore. I start with a smoothie. We've posted this recipe a ton. Greek yogurt, whole milk, orange juice, peanut butter, berries, and some greens. Smoothies are super easy in the morning. They're quick. You can take them on the go. I recommend them for almost all of my clients. On the side, I have 3 eggs with shredded cheddar and 4 ounces of sausage and a whole milk cappuccino. I mentioned that I stick to whole foods. I actually buy ground pork and make my own breakfast sausage because I just don't like all the stuff that comes in the store-bought breakfast sausage. I even make my own hot sauce to put on my eggs in the morning. This whole meal clocks in over 1,000 calories. It's a big breakfast, but I eat early around 6 a.m. and I don't break for lunch until 1. Front loading like this makes it easier for me to stay consistent and to make it through the day. Lunch and dinner always follow the same framework, but it's different meals. I don't do traditional meal prep. I don't like it. I don't like eating the same thing every single day, and I enjoy cooking. I use cookbooks or recipes I find online and I tweak them to hit my macros. The structure is always the same. 10 ounces of protein, whole food carbs, usually grains like quinoa, rice, and vegetables. I don't stress over the exact protein source and I don't change my measurements depending on where it's coming from. Sometimes it's ground pork, sometimes it's chicken, but it's not gonna change that much of my macros, so I just always measure 10. Oftentimes, I will cook enough dinner to cover lunch the next day. That's the most meal prep that I usually ever do. For me, it's important that these meals are flexible, flavorful, and built around real food. I don't buy pre-made meals. I don't rely on frozen entrees. Just simple ingredients cooked well with a structure that supports my goals. My protein shake or post-workout snack is always the same. I use an unflavored whey protein isolate. Why? Because it's just one ingredient. It's super clean, which is important to me. And yes, on its own, it would taste like ass. But I blend it with a banana, peanut butter, and a little bit of baking cocoa, which again is just one ingredient, cocoa, and of course, water. That combo gives it flavor, but also adds some post-workout benefits. The banana helps replenish glycogen, and the cocoa adds antioxidants. And of course, I mix my creatine into my post-workout shake. Again, super simple, one ingredient, creatine. I don't chase trends with my post-workout nutrition. It's just high quality protein, a few ingredients that serve a purpose, and I enjoy drinking it. That's a win. I keep my supplement stack simple but strategic. First is a protein powder. It just makes hitting my protein goals easier. I like to enjoy food, and protein shakes help me hit 240 plus grams a day without feeling like I'm chewing through an entire cow. I also like having it after I train. It's easy to digest and it keeps things consistent. Next up is the creatine, 5 grams a day, no loading, no cycling. It's one of the most studied supplements in the world, and the benefits go way beyond muscle. We're talking strength, power, cognitive performance, recovery, even long-term brain and heart health. It's really a no-brainer. I've also taken fish oil and vitamin D for years, especially after reading a study that linked omega-3s, vitamin D, and exercise with cancer prevention. I actually stopped taking both of those supplements for a while, not because I didn't believe in them, but because I believe that supplements should only be used when needed. But after about a month and a half off, I started waking up with sore joints just from sleeping in weird positions. So I added them back in, and sure enough, that went away. I eat seafood when I can, but I live in Colorado. We're not exactly swimming in fresh fish, so getting enough omega-3s consistently is tough. That's where a high quality fish oil helps fill the gap. Supplements should support your routine, not replace it. You don't need a cabinet full of pills and powders. Just stick with what works when it actually makes a difference. At the end of the day, this isn't a perfect system, but it works and it's real, and it's what I teach my clients. I'm not changing my meals every week or chasing macros down to the gram. I build meals that I like, meals that hit my targets, and I just scale the portions based on how I'm looking and what I'm working toward. When I want to cut, I dial the carbs down slightly. When I want to gain, I bring them up. Protein stays consistent and the structure doesn't change. No extremes, no fat burners, no clean bulks or dirty cuts, just small, smart adjustments that actually fit my life. If there's one thing I've learned doing this as a dad, a business owner, and someone who actually cares about performance, it's that your diet has to fit your life. The meals, the macros, the timing, they all mean nothing if you can't stick to them. So don't try to eat like an influencer. Build a system you can actually live with and keep showing up. If this gave you ideas or made you rethink how you're structuring your meals, drop a comment below or let me know if you have any questions or want help building a structure that works for you. And if you want more no BS, science-backed fitness content, hit subscribe. We've got tons coming every week.